In our hearts, there often lives a silent shadow, a shadow called comparison. It creeps in quietly, turning joy into jealousy and replacing contentment with endless desire. We see the neighbor's new house, a friend's success, a colleague's praise, and inside, a voice whispers, "Why them and not me? Why does their life seem so perfect?" This shadow follows us everywhere. It blinds us to our own path and hides the unique light shining within us. Long ago, in a quiet valley, there lived a young man named Leo. He was diligent, kind, and talented, yet often unhappy. Because in his village, everyone seemed better than him. The baker's bread filled the air with fragrance. The weaver's cloth was sought after by nobles. Even his childhood friend had become a wise scholar. Leo looked at them, then at himself, and felt worthless. Whatever he tried, he was never the best. Little by little, he lost his smile, and his heart sank into despair. One day, he heard of a sage deep in the mountains, a man who answered life's hardest questions. With his last hope, Leo set out, through forests, across streams, until he found the old man beneath a great tree. Leo bowed and poured out his sorrows. The sage listened in silence. Then he pointed to two trees nearby. One was a tall, mighty oak, its branches rising into the sky. The other, a graceful cherry tree, covered in blossoms. The sage asked, "Tell me, child, which tree is better?" Leo hesitated. "The oak is strong, fit to be a pillar. The cherry tree is beautiful, bringing joy. Each has its own worth. I cannot say one is greater." The sage nodded. "Tell me then, does the oak try to bloom with cherry blossoms? Does the cherry envy the oak's height?" "Of course not," Leo answered. "That would be foolish. They were never meant to be the same." At that moment, something struck Leo's heart like lightning. The sage smiled gently. "Yes, child, the oak does not envy the cherry, and the cherry does not envy the oak. Each walks its own path and lives as it was meant to be. So why must you force yourself to be someone else, when you might be a tree unlike any other?" He pointed to the sky and the stream. "Look, the eagle soars above. The fish swims below. If the fish spent its whole life grieving it could not fly, how miserable would it be? It would never know the freedom of the water, nor the wonders of the deep." Tears welled in Leo's eyes. He finally understood. His pain had never come from being unworthy, but from trying to be someone else. He bowed deeply and returned to the village. From then on, he no longer envied the baker, nor resented the weaver. Instead, he looked within. Though clumsy in their crafts, he carried a sharp eye for beauty and a tender heart. As a child, he had loved carving little animals from wood. That was when he felt most alive. So he began to carve again. Every piece of wood he touched came to life. People admired his art and gladly paid for it. But more than wealth, Leo gained something greater. A smile, true and free, for he had finally found his own path. This story reminds us of a simple truth. Happiness is not found in comparison, but in self-discovery. Your life has its own rhythm, its own season to bloom. Do not chase, do not imitate. Remember this old saying, a flower does not think of competing with the flower next to it, it just blooms. And so may you. Find your season and bloom in your own soil, calmly and beautifully.